In 1720, the British Atlantic faced a singular point of convergence between financial collapse, power vacuums at the top of the state, and a surge in maritime violence. We can track the real-time processing of these global shocks through the September 1st edition of the American Weekly Mercury. These reports represent a massive flow of information into colonial hubs like Philadelphia and New York, connecting local readers to events occurring months earlier in London and Paris. For a colonial subject, survival required the constant analysis of three data streams: the stability of the London markets, the shifting roster of imperial leaders, and the physical security of the shipping lanes. This document identifies the colonists as active participants in a global network, defined by their immediate connection to events happening thousands of miles away. The first major intelligence update details the systematic manipulation of the South Sea stock. London's stock jobbers were reportedly repeating the same speculative tactics that had recently collapsed the French bubble. These speculators drove the market according to their own interests, forcing prices to fluctuate regardless of the company's actual trade performance. The Mercury tracks this volatility, reporting a climb from a baseline of 350 up to 900 and odd. The stock then saw a sharp correction, falling to 550. Before the news left England, the price mounted to 800, remaining erratic. A later update reveals that by early July, the opening price had reached a new high of 950. By framing this as another French bubble, the Mercury warned its readers that they were witnessing a recurring pattern of financial collapse. These reports meant the colonial economy was directly exposed to the risks of a distant, unregulated speculative market. The intelligence briefing next addresses the security sector, where trade routes in the North Atlantic were coming under direct military threat. A dispatch via Boston details a pirate crew that captured a merchant ship called the Samuel and Sarah, significantly increasing their combat capacity. The pirates equipped the vessel with 26 guns and a complement of men answerable, transforming it into a warship capable of engaging state-level defenses. This escalation carried a high economic cost, losing £10,000 in Dale goods and the intentional destruction of the ship's cargo. The threat moved from piracy to territorial conflict with the report that these forces had captured the fort of St. John in Newfoundland. In the harbor, the pirates viciously burned or sank all civilian fishing boats, completely neutralizing the local industry. The report notes the region is too cold a climate for pirates to settle permanently, making the harsh weather their primary deterrent. The loss of a royal fort and the destruction of the local fleet demonstrated a gap in the British Empire's ability to protect its northern territories. While the periphery was under fire, the imperial center in London was undergoing a transfer of executive authority. The paper reports King George's departure for Hanover, leaving the British state without a resident monarch. The Prince of Wales declined to serve as the sole regent, opting instead to pass the summer in Richmond. This created a new administrative structure. Authority was distributed among a commission of 15 Lords Justices, rather than a single executive. This board of administrators included the Archbishop of Canterbury, the Lord High Chancellor, and the Duke of Marlborough. For the colonies, legal petition then governing orders were no longer the domain of a single king, but of a committee of high-ranking peers. This administrative transition placed the ultimate legal authority for colonial affairs into the hands of a sprawling bureaucratic board. This imperial transition coincided with a leadership shift within the local administration of Pennsylvania. The Mercury announces the death of the proprietor William Penn, reporting he died at Liege following a 6-month illness in his lungs. Simultaneously, the paper reports the expected arrival of Governor William Burnett in New York to take command of that province. The loss of foundational leaders occurred just as the financial crisis in London was reaching its peak, increasing the pressure on local political stability. Even as these leaders passed away, the physical population of the colony was rapidly expanding. The ship Laurel is recorded as arriving in Philadelphia with 240-odd Palatine passengers on board. These arriving settlers and the new colonial governors were taking control of a province that had just lost its original founder. The September 1st edition of the Mercury provided the data points necessary to track market crashes, pirate warfare, and the restructuring of the British government. These pages demonstrate that colonial subjects were analyzing global intelligence to anticipate how distant volatility would impact their local lives. The 1720 Atlantic world functioned as an integrated system, held together by the distribution of this technical information. The data in this document places the American colonies at the center of a high-stakes global network. The American Weekly Mercury functioned as a tool for navigating a year defined by the redistribution of financial, military, and sovereign power.
The Daily Dispatch, history in print. No modern gloss, no modern